Hello, and welcome to another episode of Social Media for Your Boring Business, where I go live every single Tuesday with an amazing digital marketer or business owner that I know, and we talk about the best ways to market your business online, especially using TikTok. But today we are going to be going live with a Pinterest expert, which I am super excited about because I personally do not know a ton about Pinterest. I use Pinterest as a user. I pin stuff. I mostly use it for recipes or inspo whenever I decide I'm going to do some sort of costume or project for my kids, or if I'm going to here she is. It says no. Oh, here we go. I do not know how to use Pinterest marketing standpoint, so I am super excited. Hello, how are you
Hey,
today?
I'm adjusting everything here, sound and
Okay,
all.
perfect. I'm so excited to have you. So, just a little bit of housekeeping before we jump in. Because we are both hosts going live, I can't see comments left on your side. So, if somebody asks a question on your side, be sure and grab it so that we can answer it. And if you are here joining us live, please drop any questions that you have in the comments. Like I said, we're going to be talking about Pinterest today, and I'm excited because I do not use Pinterest for marketing with my clients at all. So I have so many questions, but let's jump in first with you just telling us about yourself and your business.
Well, first, my name is Teresa Toledo. I'm a Pinterest marketing expert. I've been helping business owners to grow an audience with Pinterest, to drive traffic to their websites, sell more, and all of the good things that Pinterest can give for the past almost 7 years. Other than that, I think everybody should, can search and take a look more about me, check my account and all, because I don't want to waste this time talking about me. I want to use this time to talk about Pinterest marketing for business. And
Yes.
pardon me, you guys, whoever's following me probably have seen I've hurt my ankle, so I hope my brain is in the place today. It has been just such a crazy last almost 10 days that I don't even know what's going on, so I'm gonna do my best.
Oh my gosh, Vanessa was supposed to join me last week and messaged me like, Jen, I'm probably not going to be able to join you.
I
But
messaged
you've
you
made
and
some
you
really
have
great content. You've
I,
definitely made some great content with it.
oh my gosh, it was just like, you know what? I have to do something with this. I can't just sit down and feel sorry for myself, because I am feeling sorry for myself and I am upset, but I can't. So I guess that was one of the ways that I found, okay, maybe I can cope sharing, the fun side, the sarcastic side of what is going on with my life right now.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay, so let's jump in. Oh, okay. One thing I just want to touch on really quickly. So I am I graduated high school in the early 2000s, so I'm definitely like one of those people who grew up with social media, right? And I remember being on Pinterest whenever it very, very first started, and there was no content on it. So, like, the job of the user was to add the content to it, which is like very, very overwhelming for me. And so I tried. I have like my first board where it was four things that I natively pinned from like a website where I had to create the whole thing. But so when you started 7 years ago, it was a lot further along than that, correct?
Well, the crazy thing is that when I started, in the beginning, Pinterest was by invitation only, right? You have to have an invite. When I got in, it was, I think, right after that. And I remember not knowing what was going on with the
Yeah,
platform, and just taking a picture of something that I liked and pinning
yeah,
it. Because I thought that's how this works, we are
yeah.
creating our vision board here. But when I started using Pinterest, excuse me, Pinterest to help business owners. I was an intern in online coaching business. So they would, train people. I was also a certified trainer. And my job was to get their blogs on Pinterest, create images and pin. And back then, honestly, we didn't know what we were doing. And back then, anything would work. Anything and everything that you would post on Pinterest, link into your website would somehow work. People would save, you would get views. The analytics were not even there. So those are very interesting times, the early beginnings of Pinterest.
Yeah, definitely. Where did you say that you were working at when you did
I
this?
used it to work as an intern, and that's the very beginning of my whole social media journey. And Eat More to Weight Less, they do online coaching, online training, and I was a personal
Okay.
trainer, so I was one of their trainers. And they said, "Oh, how about you start helping us with this?" I'm like, "Yes, sure, let's do it." And they had blogs, and I wasn't a blogger. I didn't have my own content or nothing, so it was really, really, that early beginning, like very naive, very humble beginning. The graphics were terrible, but we had Canva already. Back then, Canva was very basic. And
Yeah.
they worked.
That's so funny. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about what businesses you think work well on Pinterest, but I also, along with that question, am curious with what type of business owners you predominantly work with or who you really love working with. And then are there other people outside of that that also work well on Pinterest? And I'm asking this because I work with a lot of brick and mortar businesses, and usually when I talk to people who specialize in Pinterest, because of the types of businesses that I work with, it isn't always a good fit. So I think that that's really interesting that there are some businesses that specifically do better on Pinterest than others.
So the first thing, if you ask me, who do I specifically work with? In those 7 years, I've worked with all kinds of niches, from book writers to online sellers, e-com, you name it. So I never really let a niche hold me back. For me, it's more about the work that this person, this client, is putting on, and what they can deliver and what they're willing to do. In that manner, I do have, for example, a client that I've been, and my clients are long term. My current clients have been with me for over a year. I have a client of 3 years, 2.5 years, and it's more of what are they willing to do in terms of creating content, having blogs, making videos, giving me images, right? Because if they don't have, that's the difficulty. If we think about Pinterest, you can nowadays create content within Pinterest, but if you only focus on creating content within Pinterest, you don't have content outside of Pinterest to send those people there, you're missing on a big chunk of what Pinterest does. Because
Yeah.
if we look back how Pinterest started, it was a place where people would get traffic for their blogs.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
was because you would go to Pinterest, find this image, tap on it, and go to a website, which is one of the superpowers that Pinterest has, because people are used to this motion. They don't
Yeah.
mind leaving the platform to go
Mm-hmm.
to a website. Also, Pinterest allows us, now we just had a crazy Pinterest update while I'm here, not being able to do much, that changes some of the things, changes some of the technicalities, not much the core of the platform, but everything is becoming linkable, clickable. Every single piece of content you put, for a few years we had content on Pinterest that didn't have a link. Now they're gonna have. Everything is gonna have a link. So imagine if every time you posted something on Instagram, people could tap on it and go somewhere. Or
Yeah.
every TikTok video you could tap and go. And I'm talking about organic, not
Yeah. Yeah.
sponsored. So this is super powerful. Now, if you don't have a place to send them, then it's like, okay, you can grow within the platform, but that's not really
But
what
like
it's
why?
going. You're just missing out on a lot. So when you
Yeah.
ask me what is the ideal business for Pinterest, and you specified brick and mortar, depending on the brick and mortar, it can be good. The brick and mortar that I would say, okay, Pinterest is not for you, is the business who does not have, anything online, who doesn't have a website, who does not have anything to sell, who is only locally, who's only there. So I think about a food truck that only serves that area and nothing
Mm-hmm.
else. That
Yeah.
Pinterest is not good for them. Or let's say a window tinting business who lives on that neighborhood. Pinterest
Yeah.
will not be the best place for them. However, if they're selling some of their overflow products, or if they're selling guidelines, or if there's anything that they are giving online, then yes, it could be a good fit.
Yeah.
Or if the brick and mortar business is relevant to travel, to wedding, to people coming from all over the world to order and buy from them. So then in this case, it could be.
Yeah,
Now,
I can see that.
That is just doing that, just roof repairs and nothing else, then no. Pinterest will not be a place for you. I'd rather see you, sharing your stuff on TikTok or on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right? So that would be, now ideally, there are niches that do not perform well on Pinterest because Pinterest simply will not allow them. Pinterest does have rigid guidelines. So you have to see, okay, is my product okay on Pinterest? Is my product well received within the community guidelines? If not, it's not going to work. But I've seen a lot of times that things that are a little bit, how can I say, frowned upon, they can work well online. They can work well organically, as long as they're not advertising. So still, depending on how you approach, what is your perspective, Pinterest may still like, okay, you guys can still make it happen.
Yeah. Okay, cool. If you are enjoying this conversation, please double tap this screen. That allows us to get in front of more people like you who will enjoy the conversation as well. And please feel free to drop any comments that you might have about Pinterest and how you could use it for your business in the chat. And that way we can get them answered for you. Okay, so I feel like I know the answer to this, but I know that Pinterest is not necessarily a social media platform because it works so differently. So why should business owners invest their time and energy into using Pinterest?
So definitely you got that right. Pinterest is not social media. It does not position itself as social media. And if we look at it, it does have some social media capabilities. You can share the content, you can comment, you can follow, right? You can engage, you can even leave a reaction, you can reply to some of the videos with a video of your own. However, what makes that is the to Pinterest is not going there to find out about their friends, about celebrities, about what is going on in the world. They go there looking for things to do, things to try, and things to buy. So there is an intent behind the person going to Pinterest. They already have something that they want to find out more about. The same way, in a similar way, because Pinterest, since it's not social media, what is it? It is a visual search engine. Think about when you go to Google. You don't go to Google to socialize. You go search something on whatever search engine with an intent. Not with the goals of, oh, I'm just going to see what it is to see. I'm going to find out what's going on. No, most people are already with the intention. And even if they're already using Pinterest, they may have moments where they're just scrolling, but this scroll is already, there is an intention behind this scroll. Either being something basic, such as what am I going to make for dinner tonight, but also something, how can I prepare for my upcoming trip, or how can I plan this, or how can I, what kind of baby names are there out there for my newborn baby, kind of things like that. So, and I'm using those examples because the spectrum of what goes on Pinterest is so broad nowadays. You can find anything and everything there.
Yeah. And then your algorithm just kind of like changes, like whatever it is that you're searching for, you just see more of that.
And it does have a smart feed that will curate content based on what you are searching and what you're engaging with. So it doesn't really, when you start Pinterest, when you create a Pinterest account, it immediately asks you what kind of content are you interested in, what things do you want to know more about.
Yeah.
So it can curate right there. And then you would say, okay, why would a business be interested? Well, think about it. People are going there. 97% of the searches are unbranded. They're not loyal to a brand there. They want a result. They want solutions. The content that we post to Pinterest lasts at least 3, 4, 6 months, and it can live up to years. We have proof of that content that because simply because it gets engagement and it's evergreen content, it becomes legacy. It lasts
Yeah.
years. Keeps
Forever, right?
generating traffic and traffic and traffic and traffic nonstop, which is no other platform does that,
I
right?
know.
So those are and if you think about it, people are going there, they want to do something. They have, Pinterest has some studies. The shopping basket of Pinterest user is already bigger than other platforms. So there are a lot of things that, if your business is a business that, could be good for Pinterest, has what it takes to be on Pinterest, that business should be. Now, one downside that I'm very transparent about, but the more I see how other platforms work, all platforms have the same downside. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes
Yeah.
content. You
Yeah.
can't expect to post 3, 5 things and all of a sudden you're, hey, I'm making money. It's
Yeah.
flowing in. No platform does that. Not TikTok, not YouTube, not Facebook, not nothing.
Yeah. Even ads. No, and I was thinking that too, like people, like any guru, right? They're like, use Pinterest to make $1 million tomorrow or whatever. And it's like, I know that's not the case.
No,
Not to
that's
say
not
that
true.
it can't be powerful.
Actually, I just published a video on YouTube last night and it was inspired by a TikTok that I saw here. There is a person who has done over and over and over those kind of TikTok videos. And at this point, I don't even get bothered anymore, but when I see, I'm like, she doesn't explain how. When it gets to the how, it's just such a kumbaya situation.
Yeah.
And us and among Pinterest experts, none of us has ever seen it working that way. So I did this video on YouTube is how to make $30,000 a month with Pinterest, because that's exactly what she's saying. This is how you make $30,000 a month with Pinterest. And
Hmm.
I simply break down why what she's proposing it's not a thing. However, how you could potentially do over time. So yes, could you do that over time? Yes, I do have a client that, and now we are on the slow season, but month in, month out, she sells coming from Pinterest, and she's technically a small business owner, $16,000 a month in
Yeah.
sales coming from Pinterest alone. And we are not talking about high ticket items. We are talking about an average basket of $100. So,
Wow, that's
and those are
awesome.
sales that are coming in from Pinterest, but it did not happen overnight. We rolled up the sleeves. Her website, she's always updating. She always has new products. She always has beautiful imagery. We are always pushing blogs. We are always working with SEO, with Pinterest. So it's a non-stop work. And now we are sitting in this position where it's working. We just keep doing it, right?
Yeah.
And we are even running ads. And at this point, the ads is one of those. You put $1, you get 6, you get 7, you get 10, and you just keep putting the dollars. So, but
Hmm.
it took time to get there. It was
Yeah.
not, it's not what those people are saying. You just create they usually say you just repurpose your Instagram or your TikToks and bam, you make that money. No, it
Yeah.
doesn't work that way.
I used to see videos like that all the time. Like picture to where my clients are like, let's do this. I'm like, I don't think that's a thing.
It's not a thing. I mean, and if it's a thing, can somebody please show me? Like the
Yeah.
back end, once you show me that you did it, I will say, you know what, I was wrong, you're right, I want to learn from you. I pay you to teach me. But
Yeah.
not one person. It's like we are seeing a lot of this. How to make XYZ with affiliate marketing on Pinterest with Chat GPT.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I mean, you probably could, but it
I
would just
mean,
take as much work as anything else. You would still have to have
exactly.
all of the backlinks, all of the blogs, all of the everything else,
And
and
it's
then
not gonna happen overnight.
yeah, put in the
It really.
consistency.
It's like any business. It takes time. It's not overnight.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, so I want to shift direction for just a minute, but you also have done very well on TikTok. So, what do you think has contributed to your success on TikTok so far?
You know, what is interesting for me is that in my niche as a Pinterest expert, I have more people finding me on TikTok than on Pinterest. Obviously, because people are not on Pinterest to find out how to use Pinterest, right?
Yeah.
But I feel one of the things that don't I don't gatekeep. I am very
Yeah.
straightforward. This is what I do. This is the basic. This is the step. This is the no BS approach. You know, if
Hmm.
you're looking for a quick hack, keep scrolling. That's not me. You know, that's fine. Find somebody else. But we are talking about the real deal, the roll up the sleeves and make it work, make it happen. And I also think about it. TikTok has a lot of small business owners. So
Yeah.
I think that's where I tap it into by serving those small business owners who are not ready to hire help, but they need help.
Hmm.
They want a DIY, or creators who are thinking, okay, how can I get myself out there? You know, how can I increase my audience base in a different platform? So that's another situation. But I do feel that I do love, you know, doing trends and having certain types of content, but giving people what they need and what they want in a very straightforward way, no BS.
Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect. Okay, so can you, well, first of all, I have a couple questions here and we don't have very much time, so I'm trying to decide which one is going to be the best. But
Yeah, I don't see questions on my end here, so
what?
yeah, I don't see any questions showing up on my end.
Oh, okay, I have questions for you. I have them written down. But what do you think about like there was a lot of talk about taking TikTok videos and using them as Pinterest idea posts. Is that still something? And like, do you do that? Do you repurpose this content for your
Yes.
clients?
Yes, actually, repurpose not only TikToks, but if you have YouTube Shorts or if any kind of video that you can repurpose, Reels, it is a thing. I am a huge believer that when you create content, you should create content that you can share to different platforms, not
Hmm.
just one platform specifically. I do that myself. I do that for clients. However, I always teach because I've seen in and out. If you simply repurpose without adjusting to the specific platform, following the guidelines, the best practice of each platform, you're not going to get results. You're going to be
Yeah.
throwing spaghetti on the wall, and you're just going to get frustrated because you're going to say, oh, I've been doing this for months and I'm not seeing results. And you're not going to see results unless you have, you know, your Pinterest account optimized, which I do have a checklist on my link in bio, how to optimize, what you need. Once you have that set up, and I was in the past months teaching a pinning strategy, which is the lazy pinning strategy, with the minimum effort possible, repurposing content, and over time you see results. You keep building, right? You make Pinterest an add-on to your marketing strategy instead of putting the whole focus there. So you just add it, and it just helps everything bloom faster, and it's just a matter of time. And it relies on repurposing. So the only thing when repurposing, sometimes, because Pinterest is a platform with intent, people are not going after entertainment there. Things that work
Yeah.
so well here may not work there, right?
Yeah.
Because they're specific to TikTok. So then it's
Hmm.
just a matter of tweaking the content.
Yeah. No, I get that for sure. So, as far as like SEO and keywords, do you think that the keywords that you use on Pinterest would be similar to what you would use on YouTube or what you would
They
use on
are.
TikTok?
They are. What I like to do, because Pinterest SEO is keywords. So what
Hmm.
I like to do pretty much is, once I'm creating content, let's say a blog, and I have those keywords, I pull those keywords and I validate them on the Pinterest search bar and
Hmm.
see if those are working there. And if they're working, those are my keywords. The same way that, let's say, if you're using hashtags on Instagram and you want to use them on TikTok, you should validate them. You should double check.
Yeah.
So as long as
Yeah.
you double check, it could be a thing, and it will help you uncover maybe new keywords that could be better, or or just prove that your keywords are right.
Yeah, definitely. And what is like your favorite Pinterest strategy right now? Like, you don't have to go super in deep, but is there a Pinterest strategy that you use for all of your clients that's really simple to get started with, or? to
So I have
be
two,
consistent?
there are two main strategies that I usually talk about, and one of them is in my Pinterest guide. The other one is the lazy Pinterest guide, Pinterest strategy. So the lazy Pinterest strategy is for the person who is looking for something, I mean, to begin with, right? So after both strategies, we need a good account optimization, profile, boards, all of that. But the lazy one, it's you spread your content over time. So you're going to be pinning 2 pins a day, but consistently, continuously, 90 days, 180 days. And it's just a matter of time for it to pick up versus the other, which I call it on fire. And it's usually what I do for clients because obviously they're not paying to get that minimum strategy, right?
Yeah.
So we go in an amount of about 5 pins a day. So we increase and we just keep going and keep building on it. So it's a matter of volume. Both strategies will need the keywords, we'll need the account optimization, we'll need images and we'll need videos, right? We'll need a good, board optimization. We have to have those keywords in place. And once you have that aligned, and you keep going, as long as your, what you have on your website is good, your product is good, your content is good, it just keeps happening. Trust me, I run over crazy things that you can't believe. How can this business does not have their website working or their funnel is broken, and they're expecting miracles with Pinterest. So, but they never address the core, which is the keywords, the optimization, the consistency, and creating content that really aligns with Pinterest.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do have one question here if we have time, and it's going to be
Yeah, go for it.
So how do we use Pinterest to promote digital products? It would be the same way as you would be promoting physical products. You need to have your website where those products are. If you're using Etsy, that's totally fine. You can have your digital products on Etsy. That's not a problem. And then how the platform changed from one language to other language. But Pinterest is available in several international markets. There are a few differences in terms of formats and pins that may be available to one or another. But in general, it should not be an issue. I would say go with the language of the market that you want to target. So that's exactly what I would, say for that. And digital products, you're going to work the same way that you would with physical products.
Awesome. Okay, so before we go, I have one last question, and that is what piece of content are you consuming right now that you love? So it could be like a book, a podcast, a TV show, series, movie, something like that.
Oh my gosh, that is so much. But tonight I'm finishing Firefly Lane, the last episode, and I'm already crying and crying and crying.
I know everyone said they're crying. I'm like, I don't want to watch it. I don't like to cry.
I knew I was gonna cry. I cried before, but it's just like, okay, now can we just be done? But I think there are a lot of things that we identify with it, and for me, what is going on in the journey, being through a similar journey with my mother, so that kind of like hits a different level. But I guess that's how it goes,
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so tell everybody how they can find you. I know you mentioned that you have the account audit, and so where they can find that too.
Yeah, they can find me here on my TikTok, obviously. On my link in bio, I have a list of all the things that I offer, free, paid trainings, YouTube channel, other platforms that you can find, account optimization checklist, quick starting guide, everything you're going to find there.
Okay, perfect. And your handle's the same on all the platforms. I was looking at it.
Yes, it's TeresaToledo.social. However, on Pinterest, there is no social. It's just Teresa Toledo and YouTube because nobody had taken my name there yet.
Perfect. And be sure to join me every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that was 30 minutes from where we are right now. I do social media for your boring business where I'm joined by amazing digital marketers like Teresa who talk about what their specialty is and how they can help your business or how what they do can help your business. Thank you so much and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Jay.
Bye-bye.